Daryl and the whole group here for basically like really giving us, like we're the only group that allowed to camp here all year long. And then I want to acknowledge with Robert.
You guys be closer, I can't hear you.
Okay. So Robert and one of the workers here, I forgot his name, Bobby, they put the kayak ramp in 2 days here. So it's
Yes!
and then I also wanted to acknowledge that we're honoring. A lot of you don't know who Frank Miller was, but Frank lived at the harbor for, somebody can probably remind, how many years now?
35.
35 years. So he passed away January 5th, really suddenly. So we want to honor kind of a great person. I was really fortunate in my last 2 years. I was retired, so I would come here every week because when I first came here, I felt like I was going back to Hawaii, And I think all of you, Frank's family, the harbor, the people, we want to know that there's places like the harbor here that is like really close to the Bay Area, but it feels like it's far away. And I think many people, you don't even know this place exists here, but we're very lucky that the harbor is really embracing the NCKA, the kayak community here. But also we have, I think, a really special opportunity here not to acknowledge Frank, but also to acknowledge the Native ancestors. So one of my dear friends, Janet King, works at the Native American Center in Oakland. Describe your heritage, and she's going to do a Native American blessing here. I'm a really terrible singer. I'm learning how to play the guitar. I wrote this song for Frank, for Horizons, so then I will do the blessing of the Horizons. Mary Ann, Frank's sister, will say whatever, few things, and then Frank's daughter, Danielle, they're actually, Trinity and Noah are here, his grandchildren. And then Noah actually caught 3 stripers off the Fury today. So, without further ado, the pig is coming.
The dragons are coming, I swear.
I also want to acknowledge the harbor people here behind the bar. Bonnie Dunn lives at the harbor, one of the residents. Frank, are you the official harbor master here?
Jack.
Okay, so Jack, okay. So Jack originally 2 years ago said, let's do a Kelly Striper thing, and so this is what happened. So from now on, we're going to name it after Frank. But before further ado, I want to, take a moment to, we're going to honor the ancestors of the land, and Janet is really, anyway, she's...
Thank you. It's an honor. I really want to thank Michael for asking me to come and do this. It is really, it's really wonderful when ancestors are acknowledged. And so I'm Janet King, and I work at Native American Health Center, and Michael and I work together on some projects in Alameda County, in mental health. And so I'm from the Lumbee tribe, which is from North Carolina. So what would be really great if Karina Gold, who is the spokesperson for this area, she's Ohlone, and we're on Ohlone land, in case you don't know. This is the land of the Ohlone, and some of the neighboring tribes are Pomo and Miwok. So I just want to say a little bit about their protocol towards the land, because the land is very sacred. She's regarded as a mother. That water is regarded like an auntie. So when we say we take care of our relatives, we also mean we take care of the water, we take care of the land, we take care of the animals. So when we say relatives, we mean all of those species too. But anyway, so Karina Gold couldn't be here because she gets asked to do these things a lot, and she just can't be everywhere at all the time. So I'm just going to say some of the things I know she would say if she was here. So you're in the land of the Ohlone, and it wasn't called Richmond, Oakland, Berkeley a long time ago. It was called the land of Huichin. And because the Ohlones and the Miwoks and the Pomos were such really good stewards of this land, it was really, really lush. When the Spaniards came up here in the 1800s and then later the gold rush, they found a very lush land. The tribes here didn't fight each other over resources because it was so plentiful. Some of the stories I heard is that when the salmon was coming upstream, you could cross the stream on their backs because they were so plentiful. And yeah, so and then
today.
yeah, they're not so plentiful today. The gold rush sort of destroyed some of the waterways and poisoned some of the waters with the mercury. Another story I heard from the women went to, which is the tribe that's up by Mount Shasta. They said that when the geese, because there were some, natural gathering places for the birds up there, and when they would mount up and go in the air, the sun would actually be blocked out and be dark for a few minutes because the geese were so plentiful. So just to let you know, this land was very lush, and everybody that lived on it were stewards, and they took care of the land. So everybody was constantly gardening, not just gardening like in the patch in their backyard, but everything, the whole land was considered a garden. And so whenever you would pick a plant, you would try to maneuver it so it would have better growth, or take the dead stuff off so it could blossom better, or plant the seed that didn't quite make it in the soil. So you were always gardening. It was a responsibility for everybody to do that. So, and then a couple of other, like there was always respect too for the other species that lived here, like the tribes that gathered acorn to make meal. The first droppings of the acorn would be for the animals, and then the second dropping of the acorns would be for the people. So these were some of the things that were observed just to make sure there was harmony and the land stayed lush. Another story I heard, this is up in the Hupa area, Yurok and Peru, which is like in Humboldt County. They said the black bears were like the police, and you always had to be careful of them. When they built their houses, they had like, the door was like a big circle, and you'd have to like go in backwards, and they did that so the bears wouldn't enter into their houses. So everything they did, they had to be mindful of the bears, because they were also very plentiful. And the Pomo, some of the Pomo, my Pomo friends, they told me before they would go out and pick berries, they would have to sing songs to the bears first to ask them permission to pick the berries. So anyways, so they were just all, it was a big family living here, with the plants, the animals, and the people, and there was a lot of strict protocol to make sure everybody stayed happy and the land stayed healthy. So you'll fear those spirits. This land was blessed by all of these sacred protocols about how to regard the land. And there was lots of ceremonies, and so you'll feel some of that energy. I know Michael says he feels it all the time, especially when he's kayaking. He really feels the spirit of the land. There were songs that were sung to the water, songs that were sung to the trees, and songs that were sung all the time. Because, all this whole world was like a church. And so it was considered a temple, so you were always singing sacred songs and always remembering, how to be good stewards. And one other, just another example of, our responsibility to take care of the land. The women they were in charge of the waterways and keeping them healthy, and they were also in charge in helping the salmon, so they regard themselves as salmon people. A lot of California tribes regard themselves as salmon people. And one of the things the women would do was like when the salmons were going upstream, and sometimes it would be hard for them to jump, they would gather them and then carry them upstream. So that's how just wanted to give you a couple of examples how thought of all the species that live in California was, all of the species were thought, and there was harmony. And again, when they say all my relations, they meant not just the people in their community or their tribe, they also meant the plants and the animals and the earth and the bugs and the insects and the minerals in the soil. So that's just wanted to give a little bit about, how sacred land is here. And so you really are a very sacred place. And some of you will feel that energy and some won't. Some people just picks up energies, and this has really good energy. There's some places, some lands that have been, there've been traumatic events that happen on there, and when you go into certain lands, you can feel the sadness. And so, and I feel the good energy in this land, and I know Michael has spoken of it a lot when he's told me when he's kayaking. So I just want to say those few words so we have some appreciation of the land that we're on. And then I'll just say a prayer. I'm really glad that everybody's here to honor Captain Frank J. Miller. It sounds like he was a great guy. The stories I heard from Michael, and so I'm really honored to be invited to his memorial, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the stories that are going to be shared with his friends and relatives. So I'll just say a prayer to bless the food and to give us safe travels, and then I'll hand it over to Michael. So, Grandfather, I want to thank you for this gathering today. I want to thank you for the memory of Captain Frank, and I thank you that his loved ones are here, and I thank you that we'll be hearing more stories about him. And thank you that the main purpose of this gathering is just to spread the love that he had and spread it among each other. So thank you that we have his memory and his example of life. And Grandfather, thank you for all the food that's here today and all the effort many people went to bring it here. Thank you for all the hands that were involved in bringing food here. And thank you for all the plants and animals that gave up life so we can have nourishment. And thank you that we're going to enjoy each other's company. I thank you that you brought us all here safe, and I pray that you return everybody back home safe. And I pray that we'll remember, our sacred responsibility to take care of the land, so this land is here for many, many more generations.